Oh, God, is it hot. And I work out on the pavement, too, so, yeah, it's awful. When God said, by the sweat of your brow you will eat, he wasn't joking. That is how it goes, and this is Sunday Apologetics. Thank you for tuning in. No, atheist. Sometimes I feel as though God put them here just to make sure I get a good mental workout. But in my 2+ years of debating, I've realized that atheists come in all shapes and sizes, and knowing them shapes and sizes can help you appeal to them better. In my time as a debater, I have identified 5 types of atheists: the evidence atheist, the moral atheist, the selfish atheist, the smoker atheist, and the honest atheist. The evidence atheist is the one you run into everywhere you go. I want evidence of God's existence. Give me evidence. You ever realize this type of atheist never really gives you an example of the evidence that would convince them? Because often when you present the evidence of God, they say it's not good enough because it doesn't prove God. Well, ahoy, Captain Obvious. You asked for evidence, not proof. I kinda tackled those topics in my Just an Interesting Thought video I posted, in which I explained my beliefs that there is no one single piece of evidence that can convince all atheists. However, I know some atheists may have been unsatisfied with that video, and if you are one of those atheists who deny that there is not one piece of evidence that would convince the whole atheist community of the Christian God being real, I challenge you atheists, yes, you watching this video, to comment what that evidence would be. Well, Trey, if I could see God, then I'd believe he existed. Well, how do you know you're not hallucinating? Well, we could get multiple people to see him and ask him to perform miracles and show everyone. Okay, well, how do you know the Islamic religion isn't the real one, and what you're seeing is actually a jinn who is deceiving you by doing these things to make the Christian religion look right and lead you astray? Well, you wouldn't know that. Look at me with all my skepticism. Looks like I still got a little bit of atheism left in me. My atheist friends, I know how this goes. I was an atheist too. I know how the evidence game is played. I used to love playing it as an atheist because it was impossible for the other person to win. All I had to do was ask them for something logically impossible, and then when they couldn't provide it, I'd sit there and cross my arms and say, well, looks like I win again. As far as I'm concerned, there is no one single piece of evidence that would convince someone that Christianity is the one true religion. Besides, even if the Christian God did come down, how do you know he's the one true God? A lot of atheists, I would say, I know, would come to the conclusion, well, if there's more, if there's one, there must be more. And, that doesn't prove that there isn't necessarily more. The moral atheist is just as feisty as the evidence atheist, but is a little easier to diffuse. The moral atheist is the one that sits there and says, well, I don't believe in God because I don't want to believe in a God that would do this or that, or something else that God did that they don't like. I say these ones are easier to diffuse than the evidence atheist because all you need to do is give a reason for why the thing they disagree with was good. These are the atheists I started off debating with. Sadly, though, even after you give them justification for the action, most of them just morph into a different kind of atheist. That's why I think a lot of them use the moral argument as an excuse to not believe. The selfish atheist is one I mentioned in my last video, the atheist killer argument one. They don't believe in God because they don't see how it's useful for them. They view the possibility of there being a God as an obstacle in whatever goal that they have, and they abandon the idea of God whenever his rules contradict their personal goals. It just seems as people become more and more obsessed with instant gratification, they turn away from God or anything that wouldn't be of immediate benefit. The smoker atheist is the type of atheist that just doesn't care. You ever walk up to someone and ask them why they smoke if they know it's bad for them? The answer you probably got was, they don't care. They're too busy enjoying their life choices to care about any future punishment, just like an atheist who doesn't care about God being real or fake because they're not going to change either way. They like what they're doing, and they're going to keep doing it, even if it kills them. The heart wants what the heart wants. You remember the Pharaoh in the book of Exodus, when Moses made the frogs come down? I think it was the frogs, also was the blister one. But during one of the curses, the Pharaoh says to Moses, "Take your people away tomorrow." And you think to yourself, what kind of man would sit there in an apocalyptic circumstance like frogs falling down or being covered in blisters and sit there and say, well, this is all very convincing of your God, however, come back and get him tomorrow. The reason he said come back and take them away tomorrow is because he's having too much fun doing what he's doing. He wants to keep doing it, never mind the chaos that is happening. He's just not ready to stop what he's doing yet. Sadly, this type of atheist, based on my personal experience, makes up about 85% of all atheists I've ever spoken with. Then there's the honest atheists. These are the types of atheists who acknowledge that they are one of the above atheists, but have made the sincere decision to not let that stop them in their pursuit for reasons to believe in God, who admit when they're wrong and stay honest during debates. If you are one of the honest atheists, I invite you to join my debate group, Atheism v. Christianity, The Real Debate. It's on Facebook. Like, subscribe, do all that good YouTube stuff. If you have a topic you want me to address, leave a comment below and I'll see you in the next video. I had people tell me that my debate group doesn't seem all that good, nothing really interesting. Well, that's why I asked you for this stuff. If you have something you want addressed, bring it to my attention and you might see it in a future Sunday Apologetics. Until then, see you next Sunday. Wait a bloody minute. It's Wednesday. What, was I in a coma? I have like no memory. Complete time lapse. Am I the Terminator?